IRS came out just the other day and they said that they're going to start accepting federal tax returns on January 26th. That's a Monday, by the way. That's when they're going to start accepting them. However, just because they start accepting them that day, there's a lot of tax professionals that are out there suggesting you probably want to wait to actually submit your federal tax return. Now, full disclaimer, this is not tax advice. This is not accounting advice. I'm not your CPA. I'm not your accountant. Talk to your own professional. File when you see fit. If you're somebody that typically does file a tax return or not, I don't know your situation, okay? This is just a general video to give you some information here. But anyway, they're suggesting because the rollout of all those major provisions, as you can see here in this article, scrolling through some of the major ones that are out there, because of that major tax bill that was signed into the law over the summer of 2025, because of that, the IRS needs to basically implement all of these different changes and basically recalibrate all of their systems and everything like this. Well, guess what? They're also suggesting that they've lost about 25% of their staff going into this. So previously they had about 100,000 staff within the IRS, again, according to what I was reading on this, and now they're down to 75,000 or less staff within the IRS, and they're suspecting roughly 164 million individual tax returns to be filed. That's not even counting corporate tax returns, business tax returns. That's just individual tax returns, 164 million of them, right? They've got their work cut out for them, right? And again, with all of these new changes that have been implemented because of that big tax cut bill, again, signed into law over the summer that you could see here in the article, they need to really get their systems up in order here and everything all calibrated specifically for all the new rules and all the people that are coming in wanting all of their money. Now, we also heard out of the Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, that we're going to be seeing hundreds of billions of dollars refunded. Average person, average tax refund going to be roughly $4,000. That's just on the federal level, by the way. Those of you that are in states that you've paid taxes into, you may be getting an additional tax refund on your state level as well. They're not considering into the state level. They're just talking about on the federal level, an average of $4,000. Obviously, some people get more, some people get less. But here are just some of the major changes that came out of that tax bill. Now, obviously, there's way more that I'm going to mention right here, but these are just some of them. And again, they were also highlighted here in this article. You probably saw them, but let me rattle off just quickly here some of them. The new higher child tax credit payment. Remember, that was $2,000. It's now $2,200. $2,200. It went up by 10%. No taxes on tips. No taxes on overtime. The ability to write off interest on vehicles. Not all vehicles. Some vehicles now allow the ability to write off interest, okay? The increase of the SALT deduction, the state and local tax deduction, it was $10,000. It's now $40,000. They 4X'd that one as well. The additional $6,000 and $12,000 senior deduction, which, by the way, I have dedicated videos here on the channel talking about that. Since that was announced back in the summer of 2025, I've brought you a few dedicated videos about that, and there's still a ton of confusion around that out there. And I'm going to be 100% fair with you. I'm going to bring you another dedicated video about that because I still get questions about that. And there's still people out there that think they're going to get a $6,000 or $12,000 check because of that deduction. That's not right, okay? I just want to make that very, very clear. Sorry to burst your bubble on that one. It's not a check. It's a deduction, okay? Anyway, you also continue to hear that they continue to say, no more taxes on Social Security. That's not true. Taxation on Social Security is still very much a thing, but rather they're giving the $6,000 and $12,000 deduction to offset the taxation of Social Security benefits for about 88% of beneficiaries. There's still going to be about 12% of beneficiaries that are still going to owe some federal tax on their Social Security benefit. And remember this much as well, that you still have some states, there's about 8 states, I could be off by a state or two, but I think one other state, I think it was maybe West Virginia, I could be off on that. I think it was West Virginia this year, eliminated taxation on Social Security benefits. Otherwise, I think there's still maybe like 8 or 9 states out there that still tax Social Security. So your state, if you're in one of these states that still taxes them, may still be taxing your Social Security as well, okay? So look forward to that one as well, okay? So anyway, a lot of big moving parts here, And a lot of people are really, really, really chomping at the bit because people need money in a massive, massive way right now. We've heard about this for months as they've talked about it, and they continue to double down and say this is going to be the biggest tax refund season that we've ever seen in the history of this country, and the largest amount of money going out to the people. And it's all going to start flowing here literally in a matter of weeks. However, be warned, if you happen to be somebody filing a federal tax return, remember, the IRS basically will do nothing to give answers within